Alright, so now that I've imported my my drawing, my DXF drawing into Corel Draw, there is just a few things that I need to do before I can add the text. Now, one of those things is I do still have some measurements on here, so I do want to get rid of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here on the side. I'm going to go into Object Manager. Now, if you do not happen to have Object Manager over there on the side, it ends up looking something like this. You're going to go under Windows. You're going to go down to Dockers. And you're going to scroll over and you're going to click on Object Manager. I also do want to add one other thing, so I'm just going to click on that little plus sign and I'm going to click on Object Properties because I want that to be there as well. So right now I'm in Object Properties. Again, I do want to click on Object Manager. So the first thing I want to do is I want to click on Dimensions. I just want to highlight it and I do want to delete that, so I'm just going to press the delete key. So that just takes care and that deletes my my measurements, my dimensions. So now what I want to do is I want to group the front, what we've created. I want to group that together because if I click on it right now, each line is separate. It's going to make it a lot harder for us to center the text that we're going to add on there to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the front. I'm going to select. I want to select everything that's here. So I'm going to click on the first one. I'm going to push and hold down the Shift key. And I'm going to click. So now that I have the entire front piece selected, and this is the reason why we put each section into a different layer. So now that I have the front selected, I'm going to go to the Object menu here. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go down to Group. I'm going to slide over. I'm going to click on Group Objects. If I wanted to, I can always push and hold Control and press the G key, and that will also group them. So right now, I've grouped the front together. All right. So now that I have that grouped together, I do want to go ahead and add my text. So I'm just going to put my last name. You can put whatever text you want. I recommend to limit it to a maximum of probably 7 letters. Again, 7 letters. Anything more than that, and it will get a little squished. It won't look right. So I'm going to select the text tool. So I'm going to click on that. I'm just going to click anywhere. It doesn't really matter for right now. So I'm just going to click. And I'm going to go ahead and type in my last name. Alright, so now that I have my last name typed in, I'm going to click on the pick tool so that it's selected. So now what I can do is I can select the font. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger just to make it easier to see. So now I can go ahead and select the font. So because of what we're cutting out, you want to use a stencil style font. So this font right here would work. I'm not really sure how to say it, but this font will work. It is a stencil style font. I think, let me just see if the O will work on that. So I just want to go ahead and change this. I'm going to change this to an all caps. Alright. So I'm just changing it to all caps right now. So one thing is with this font, if you have an O, it looks like it won't work because the center of that O will end up getting cut out. So I again like to use this stencil font. It works great. I have mine in my these are all the recent fonts that you use. I have mine right up in the top. If you don't happen to have it there, you just want to scroll down and it's going to be under S, so it's going to be towards the bottom. Alright, so I have that right here. I want to click on that and I want to select it. All right, so I do want to just make this all lines. So this is where the object properties comes in handy. So click on object properties over here in your side little menu. I do want to have no fill. All right, and I want my outline to be a hairline. All right, so the hairline outline is letting the laser know that it's going to be a cut. It's going to be a cutout. All right, so from here, what I want to do now is I do want to change the size of this. All right, I want to change the size of this to 2 inches high by 10 inches long. So 10 by 2. So if I go ahead and I just change one of these, so right now I'm just going to change the width to 10. And if I press enter, what that's going to do is, because I have the length and the height locked together, it will change it proportionally. However, if I keep this at 2.327, it's going to end up being too tall. You're going to end up seeing the lights on the inside, and it's not going to look right. So I just want to unlock that. Again, make sure that this the lock ratio button is deselected or it's open, and I want to change that to 2. All right, and then press enter. So now I've got my font set up. So now I can try to see if I can center it by eye, but there's an easier way. So I have my font selected. All right, with the pick tool selected, I want to go ahead and I want to push and hold the shift key, and I want to select that front. All right, then I'm going to go to Object, Align and Distribute, and I'm going to click on Align Centers Horizontally, and then I'm going to also click on Align Centers Vertically. Now if you look here, it has this C and E. So if I wanted, I can just, while I'm out here, I can just press C and E, and it will align it perfectly for me. All right, so again, all right, so let's say I have my text over here. All right, again, I want to push and hold shift. I want to select my front. I can press C and the E key. So C and E, or I can do it as well in here. Go align, distribute, horizontally and vertically. Now it is important to make sure that your text is selected first and your front is selected second. All right, this way it will align and not move the front section. Okay, so now I've got my text on there. I've got all my parts laid out, but if you look, it's not fully located on my board. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to click and hold, drag, I'm going to select everything. All right, and I'm going to group those together. So object, group, group objects. All right, so now I want to center this on the piece of wood that I'm going to cut this out of, which is what this board represents. So I'm going to press the P key. All right, and that by pressing the P key, it centers it, and it's all set. All right, so now I need to save it so that I can upload it to Google Classroom and submit it. All right, so I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Save As. All right, again, go to my H drive. All right, Fonty nameplate, perfect. All right, now this is very important, otherwise I won't be able to print it. I'm going to click on version. I'm going to go down to version 16. I want to make sure I save this as version 16. If I don't save it as version 16, I will not be able to open it up on the laptop to be able to print it through the laser. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and click save. All right, it says that this already exists. Do you want to replace it? Yes, I do want to replace it, so I'm going to go ahead and click yes. So now this is all set to be cut out on the laser. So next part you're going to be working on in the next several videos is going to be the switch holder and the battery holder that's going to be attached to the back of this, so that and that's going to be 3D printed, so we will be using a different program for that, but that's going to be the next video.